All right. So this one I read, and if it wasn't you witnessing it, I never would have believed it. Leonard Cohen. So you
Yeah.
Songs from a Room's 1969. The story in your book about Leonard and his buddy whipping each other. It was so bizarre. I would love you to talk about that, share that story again. I think people will be pretty wide-eyed about it. And then how did you get that gig as well?
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a session. So we were hired to work with Leonard Cohen. We had 2 sessions booked in the evening, 6 o'clock and 10 p.m. We'd cut a track. On the break at 9 o'clock, the producer came out and said, "Come on, I'm going to take you all for a drink." We said, "We don't drink on sessions." He said, "Look, I'm in charge. I'm the producer. I'll say it's all right." So we go out, and the piano player, the blind piano player, Pig Robbins, who's the
Yeah.
greatest session man I've ever known, he got one of these very strong drinks. When we got back, he said, "Oh, Leonard wants you guys to sing on that song we just did." We started trying to sing, and Pig would get tickled. And you know what happens? Everybody breaks it. So finally, he comes to Bob Johnson, the producer, and says, "I want these people gone." He fired the whole band on the spot. Now we're feeling awful,
Right.
and producer comes out and says, "Hey guys, it's my fault. Don't worry about it." And I said, "Well, we are worried about it because this doesn't happen around here. Well, anyway, he comes back. Everyone's packing up. And he comes back into me and he said, he wants you to come back tomorrow night. And I said, and do what?
Yeah.
He said, play bass. Okay. So I go back. I walk in. All the lights are out in the studio except for one candle. And I almost trip over a divider coming in because I've got a bass case and a harmonica case. So I go in, I let my eyes adjust, and then I go in and hook up my bass and go in the control room. And they're in there listening to Leonard running this song. And this guy named Zimmerman, I found out later, was a banker from Toronto. He had come with Leonard, and his passion was playing the Jew's harp. And he had a big bag full of Jew's harps, all different sizes. And so Bob Johnson said to me, "Listen to this song. When he's ready to record it, we're going to record it." So I'm sitting there learning the song, and all of a sudden Zimmerman jumps up and he shouts, "Oh my God, I feel like playing." And he takes off into the studio, and Johnson looks around and said, "I guess they're ready." So I go out and I get my bass, and we start playing this song. About 20 seconds in, Leonard messes up. We start over. He messes up. We start over. This has happened about 9 or 10 times, and then finally he says, "Well, Zim, I guess it's time." Puts his guitar down, opens up this case, and pulls out a whip.
Like a cattle whip?
Yes. He hands the whip to Leonard and turns his back. Leonard, the Jew's harp player.
Yeah.
And turns his back. And he hits him 4 or 5 times. Then he hands it to him and he turns his back. And he hits him 4 or 5 times. And then he starts beating himself, shouting, "Out, devil!" And then he looked me right in the eye. My position had changed from this to this. He's not going to hit me with that whip.
Yeah, man.
And he said, "How about you?" And I said, "I don't know about you, but I played the heck out of my part."
Yeah, man.
Well, okay. That was it. Then we started recording again. But the sad part of it is no one is left alive to collaborate my story.
That was really creepy, right? It must have been
Absolutely.
incredibly weird.
Too strange. Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever looked that up? I have to look that up on the internet now. I was like, is that a known thing that he did, or
No.
how weird is that?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know that much about him. I know he was from Canada, and He did have that one great song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 Wow,
Hey,
that is so strange, man. Was this in New York as well?
no, Nashville.
Wow.
Same studio where we worked with Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Wow, that is the most bizarre thing I've heard from a
Yep.
studio. Yes. Wow.